Welcome to Street Talker with Nancy Tansy Busher. Here you will meet artisans from Florida's Gulf Coast and learn about their art. We include their contact information so you may contact them. For a complete list of links, go to artistkaleidoscope.us. Thank you. We are speaking with
Sharon Jason.
Do you have any SAP relatives in Indiana?
I may have, but I'm not sure. I didn't keep up with them.
I used to work at Sears in Kokomo, Indiana, and there was a Paul Sapp there.
Oh, my dad's name was Billy Alsap. He says he was the last of the clan, so I don't know.
Tell us a little bit about your books.
My books are a series. I mixed science fiction, paranormal, and fantasy together to make the series. I also have a little bit of adventure and a lot of action. Plus, there's a little love story in there. And it's just about a kidnapping from future Earth being taken by the Guardians. And the Guardians are the people that we see in the caves of the prehistoric people. And that's where they came from. Okay. And basically, it has a lot to do with all of Earth's unsolved mysteries.
Okay.
Throughout my books, each one of those mysteries will be dealt with.
Oh, I see. And you have 4 titles?
I have 4 titles.
4 titles, and they are?
They are Welcome to Oakwar, The Repudiation, The Pawn, and my latest release is The Leighton Spell.
Very nice. Where can these books be found?
You can find them in Amazon. You can email me at sharonjsapp@yahoo.com. You can go on Facebook and do Oakwar Novels. You can get right on it's Oakwar, Oquar.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very nice. You know, that's a good idea. I haven't been saying that, but we should all be in touch with one another on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the local bookstores have them too, the ones in Punta Gorda.
In Punta Gorda.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This fellow is one of the most popular authors here. I've been trying time and time again to get in so I can get a few words with him. His name is Gordon England. And Gordon has a number of books. I'm going to let him tell you about it.
I have 3 paperback books that I've written called Bahamian Harbor Guides. It's a tour of the harbors in the Bahamas with photographs to go along. I have another book called Searching for One Particular Harbor. It's a true story of my wife and I running away from the world and chasing Jimmy Buffett down through the islands and looking for paradise and Paradise Lost. And another called Boat Tales, which is various collections of short stories of fishing and hunting, exploring Mexico, Bahamas, and Texas. I also have a series of 17 Kindle books, which are nonfiction short stories of action and nonfiction, some Western, back in Pancho Villa's days and West Texas hunting.
This one is interesting. You say they're not novels, they're short stories.
Yes.
Time-wise, what would you say? How long are these? Have you got a feel for that?
They're anywhere between 4 and 20 pages long, 5 minutes to maybe 15-minute reads, which I find appeals to a lot of Kindle readers. Ebook readers are looking for short things these days.
Oh, yeah, you could read while you're waiting for the light to change.
Right, and that's a new medium that people are interested in rather than longer, and it's easier to publish them quicker that way.
Yes.
And so I have a series of those, all nonfiction escapades, outdoor adventures.
Okay, so have you ever thought about doing something like a book on tape?
I came out with my first Audible book that is a written or a verbal reading of Boat Tales, and that is also a collection of short stories. And I've been through that process, and just now, in time for this book fair, came out with the first one.
Oh my gosh, see, I think that's exciting, and I can see where this is going to get very big. Because with myself, the only time I'm either sitting in the car or I'm sitting illustrating. It's so handy to have a book on tape going on in the background because then I get it all in, you know. We're all becoming so multifaceted these days.
Yes, attention spans are shortening as we look at just the headlines on the news or the internet or the Google these days, and the sound blogs and the bites are definitely the way to go.
Yeah. Yep, it's all evolving into a different world. Okay, now your books, you've told us where they're available. Do you have a website?
Yes, islandtales.biz is my website of all things Bahamas. It has stories, short stories. I write plays, I write songs. I'm a song lyricist. It's got photographic journals all down through the islands. You can explore for hours on my website. And again, that's islandtales.biz.
Oh my gosh. So you can go to his website and just have a little mini vacation. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Gordon. How exciting. This is Angelina Asanti. She would like to tell you about her book, The Lottery Heiress. And I'm anxious to hear about that.
Hi everyone, I just want to tell you about my book. The book is a love story, but it's a comedy. It involves our lead heroine, Megan Pagano. She inherits, through some bad circumstances, millions of dollars and kind of goes off the deep end with it. Once she cleans up her act through a chance encounter, she decides to sit back and lead a life of tranquility and less excitement, and she gets in a lot less trouble. And what happens is she meets Mark Taylor, who's our male lead of this story, and he comes into town to shoot a movie. And it's about her trying to keep her ways of doing the right thing and the temptation of having him around. So she doesn't know if she's going to go back to her old ways, which she does not want to do, or if she's going to keep on the right path, the straight and narrow.
So she's trying really hard to be a good girl.
It's really hard with him around. He's a good-looking guy, very charismatic, and
I think we've all met men like that at one time or another.
yeah, it's a good story. It's a good read. Men are reading it too. It is a funny novel.
And where can these books be purchased?
Amazon.com is what I'm telling everyone. They have the best deals, lowest shipping and lowest cover price.
And you have a website. Are they available on your website?
They're available. You can contact my publisher, City of Palms Publishing, and it's cityofpalmspub.com.
Where is that? Is that out of Florida?
Fort Myers.
Out of Fort Myers. Okay. Thank you, Angelina.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we're on another side of the field, and we're going to speak to Clarissa Thomason. Give us the title of some of your books and tell us a little bit about them.
I write mostly historical fiction. I have 2 books on the Civil War in North Carolina that are based on the lives of my great-great-grandparents. They are called Defending Hillsborough and Reconstructing Hillsborough. It's the story of the family's survival during the Civil War. I have a set of Florida books called Florida Shadows, Florida Secrets, and Florida Sunset, which are stories of a young woman who comes to Florida for a fresh start in 1918, and it goes from Arcadia to Boca Grande to Ocala and finally ends up in Venice with the same group of characters and the pre-boom time frame. And then I have one other book, Lorinda's Legacy, a 3-generation family tragedy. The first part is the family feud and tragedy. The last part is the granddaughter of one of the main characters trying to find the grandmother she was named for and finds that the tragedy is still very active.
Oh my gosh, I can see it now. Visitors come to Florida, they buy all your books, and then they spend the rest of the time laying in the sun, have a little margarita, read the books. Oh yeah, what a way to travel, right?
Right, and I hope that, well, especially with the Florida ones, that they will learn a lot about the state, because I am a Florida native, and I find that people only know to go east from I-95 or west from I-75. They know nothing about the rest of the state or the history. They just want to know where the nearest McDonald's is and the nearest beach.
Tell us where your books are available.
Through saltmarshpublications.com. You can look them up online. I have a website, and they can be ordered directly online.
We appreciate everybody coming out today, and thank you, Clarissa. Okay, I am walking to a table here, and I see bins of apples, colorful apples, and from the cover of the book entitled Applesauce, there are all these happy apples jumping into the bowl like it's a swimming pool. Diana Howard. So tell us about your book.
Well, I'd be delighted to do that. It's a children's story written for ages 4 to 6. For years, I have picked apples in a family orchard and canned applesauce. As my grandchildren got a little bit older, they delighted in eating it, and it just stirred me to write a story about a little apple named Jonathan and his friends who grow on the tree. And they know eventually they're going to have to fall from the tree, and it's obviously a metaphor. And the story is about that, especially about Jonathan. He decides that his contribution to the world is going to be a part of applesauce. He wants to be applesauce.
And you did the illustrations too?
My brother actually did. He's an artist and builder in North Carolina, and he did the illustrations.
So where can these books be purchased?
Applesauce is available various online outlets, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, or from me directly, diana.howard@mac.com.
Good. Who are some of the other characters in the book? Jonathan and his friends.
Jonathan, there are 4 main characters. Jonathan is Jonathan Apple, and then Mac is his buddy that always is swinging his parents' branch too hard. Alexander is another apple who lives in the orchard, and his family's been in the orchard for generations. He has little wire rim glasses. He's really cute. And then Allington Pippin, the most beautiful green apple that Jonathan has ever seen.
So there's a little bit of a love interest too.
Very small.
Very small, yes. Mostly love for applesauce.
One of my favorite parts of the book is where Jonathan hears, as people come to the orchard and are picking other apples, he hears them talking about the famous caramel apple, and he thinks it's great, to be sweet and to be tasty, but he doesn't understand what's wrong with him just the way he is, just plain, and he doesn't understand why he needs to be covered in gooey sweet stuff.
We are very good just being ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Diane.
We really didn't rehearse this.
No, we didn't.
My name is T.M. Jacobs. I'm a local author in Fort Myers, Florida, originally from the shoreline area of Connecticut. My book is H.E. Heitman, an early entrepreneur of Fort Myers, Florida. It is a biography on Harvey Heitman, who built First Street in downtown Fort Myers. He came here at the age of 16, and by the age of 23, he owned all of First Street, all the buildings, the properties, and the businesses that were housed inside the buildings. He was an entrepreneur. He was involved in many committees, which brought to us the Pleasure Pier, the Fort Myers Country Club, the Bradford Hotel, and many other things before he died in 1922. My website is www.tmjacobs.com. The book's available there along with some of my other writing.
What are some of your other writing?
I have a book called Almost Home, the 1864 Diary of Sergeant Samuel E. Grosvenor. He was a soldier in the Civil War from Connecticut. In 1864, he was a prisoner at Andersonville Prison in Georgia. He kept a diary while he was there, and I had gotten the diary. I transcribed it, just kind of narrated it, and added a lot of information. I added a lot to what he touched upon and what he saw there.
It's actually creative nonfiction. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That's also available at my website as a download. I also have a writing consulting company called Jacobs Writing Consultants, where we do story building, we help you market, and we also do copy editing.
And the name of your company again?
Jacobs Writing Consultants LLC, and the website for that is www.jacobswc.com.
Would you like to add a phone number?
239-464-9730.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
This has been Street Talker with Nancy Tansy Busher. Please join us again as we meet artists, authors, and craftsmen from Florida's Gulf Coast. You may also visit Artist Kaleidoscope, where we talk with artisans about their life, work, and art. All links are listed on our website, artistkaleidoscope.us. Thank you.